Hey adventurers, so today is going to be a video on my top 5 series that I've completed. These are specifically the series that I have completed, or else there would be likely be some other ones on this series. Anyways, this is one of those videos that I have wanted to use as basically an annual video, so every end of the year basically, I go through and refilm this video and see what's changed. Last year nothing had really changed because I hadn't really finished any new series, so I didn't do it, but so it's been 2 years now since I did this one. And I do have some things that are changing in this list, so I figured now's a good time to do it. I asked Kate if she had any updates to hers, and she said that she doesn't at the moment because she just hasn't finished enough new series to be able to go through and think about it, so that's fine. I'm just going to give you mine for the moment. You'll see some similarities and you'll definitely see some differences from my previous top 5 series list. That is, if you watch that. If not, I guess you'll just get to see what they are right now. So, as of 2022, as of the end of the year, my top five series, first, the one, really only one of them is in any sort of position, except that 2 of them are in, I like one of them above the other one, but where they sit in the series doesn't really matter other than my number 1 essentially. So, I will go from the one that I have at the bottom of the list, and that is the one that I have that is my favorites, or that I have as the number 5 series, is the Lady Trent Memoirs by Marie Brennan, or the Memoirs of Lady Trent, starting with A Natural History of Dragons. This series just works so well for me. Of course, it's not exactly what I was thinking it was going to be when I read the title, A Natural History of Dragons. I was kind of hoping like it was going to be a handbook to understanding, just like exploring the different types of dragons, or a really scientific study of dragons or something like that type thing. And that wasn't what it was. It was a memoir, and it's very, very good. It wasn't exactly what I was thinking, but it was very, very good. And once I realized that and reconceptualized, I guess, my thoughts on the series, it became an instant favorite. I loved the first book. I love the writing style, the atmosphere of them, the being in that world, seeing the dragons for what they are and who they are. And then as you continue through the series, watching Isabella grow and the other side characters come in and around and everything, and the amount of time that passes from book 1 to book 5, it's just very fun. And there's a lot that I really like about the series. So that's the one that I have as my number 5. My number 6, or I guess my number 4, not 6, my number 4 is the Mistborn trilogy, specifically Era 1. I do like Era 2. I haven't read The Lost Metal at the time of filming this, so I'm just not even going to include Era 2, even though I do like Era 2, but I also don't like Era 2 as much as I like Era 1. Era 1 just works so well for me. And while I have read everything Stormlight Archive up to this point, meaning, well, that's not even true because there's one of the novellas that I haven't read. That's not important. I have read the 4 main stories though, the 4 main books, but I still feel like I like Mistborn Era 1 better. Part of that is also, I really liked Stormlight Book 1 and Stormlight Book 2, but Stormlight Book 3, I enjoyed reading it, it was fun, but it wasn't as good as the first 2 in my opinion. And then Stormlight Book 4, same thing. I enjoyed a lot of it. There was some really cool things with it. Some of the science that was looked into, or magic science, magic texts, all that kind of stuff was really cool, and I liked all of that stuff. But overall, I just find that I like Sanderson's older works generally better than I like his newer works. Mistborn Era 1 is all part of his older works, and it's a favorite of mine by far. So just above Mistborn, and this is strange, but I keep going back to it and being like, yeah, I do like it better though, is the Redwall series by Brian Jacques. I have gone through and reread several of them now. I'm slowly working my way through all 22 of the books, and I haven't completed that yet, but I am really finding that I still love the Redwall series, not only from the nostalgia point of view, but also they hold up so well for an older reader, for someone who's no longer a child, a kid, a young adult, whatever age range you want to stick those books in, because some of them aren't middle grade, some of them are older, very much young adult in content and level of darkness and themes and stuff like that. But the Redwall series, the more I read of them, the more I'm just like, these are so good and so well written, and I can't help but love them. So then above Redwall would be the D'Artagnan romances. That is a series that I did finish this year. I actually read all 5 of them this year. This is, of course, The Three Musketeers by Alexander Dumas and the succeeding 3 books, or 4, succeeding 4 books. Anyways, the following books in that series, meaning 20 years after, the Viscount de Bragelonne, Louise de la Vallière, and then The Man in the Iron Mask. That series, I am just really blown away by how good every entry to that series was. Louise de la Vallière is not my favorite of the series by any means. That doesn't mean it's a bad book, because it's still a great book. But it's of the 5, it is my least favorite of the 5. But it's still so good. And then, to no one's surprise, number 1 is Tolkien's world, Tolkien's Legendarium, The Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, The Silmarillion, Unfinished Tales, really all of anything that Tolkien wrote realistically, but specifically because it's series. When I talk about this series, I'm specifically most of the time talking about The Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, and The Silmarillion. Those 3 books kind of complete the trilogy in many ways. Of course, Unfinished Tales is wonderful and has so many more great stories that it includes, and pieces of lore and everything. And then you can go out into the Histories of Middle-earth, the 12 volumes that are contained in that. You can read the Children of Húrin and the Fall of Gondolin and Beren and Luthien, and those books that are also part of the world that are the Great Tales, as they're known. And that's very much a part of Tolkien's literature, Tolkien's world, and very important pieces. But they are also contained, most of what you find is contained in the Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, and Silmarillion. Those are the complete tales, complete stories that are told. And that is the series that I am talking about most of the time when I refer to Tolkien's works as a series. So that is my list of my current top 5 series as of 2022, and several other series that I am fairly certain will be on here at some point. Lightbringer by Brent Weeks, that one I'm absolutely loving what's going on with it. I'm not entirely sure about Wheel of Time, because the first book, I loved the first book. The second book had some cool things about it. The third book I liked more than book 2, but not as much as book 1. And the 4th book I haven't finished yet, and I've been reading it for almost a year now, almost a full year. So it's been, I'm not sure if I'll be one of those people who gets to the end and is like, that was awesome. But I might, who knows. So that is my list of series. Thank you guys for watching an Erudite Adventure. We post videos every Monday and Thursday, and have our social media is linked in the description down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you guys again soon. Stay warm.